Welcome to the Fit Femme Project Alignment Podcast. It is here that we cultivate and gather all who have been through it in fitness, relationships, careers, lifestyle changes, and unforgettable crucial life pivots trying to achieve their most sovereign selves. We're here to provide you with thought-provoking, detailed stories and information from truly fascinating men and women from all walks of life, professions, generations, and modern-day sagas who speak to their rawest, darkest moments that made them the strong, decisive, humble, helpful, healing people that they are today. We ask them to hold nothing back because life is a multi-dimensional pursuit to be stronger, healthier, and more aligned mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome back. Today I am in Arkansas, if you can't tell. You probably can't.
I was like, what does that mean?
I'm not at my usual setup. But yeah, here with Coach Lindsey and baby Rosie. She's a little snorty, so ignore that. At least it's not a fire truck going right by my house.
Yeah.
That's way worse. But anyway, today we're talking about some... I don't know, I would say like basics, some like good general knowledge for people because it tends to get really muddy on the internet, really confusing. Like, well, what do I actually do?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're going to talk about how to work out based on your goals. So
this is a topic that I like and brought up because forever I was convinced... or thought I knew, I guess is a better word, that...
Well, I don't know where we left off, but group coaching, that's where we're talking about.
Yeah, group classes. So I taught group classes, and it just, for me, I'm never going to like just dog it, because that is where I became very consistent with working out, because I loved it, because it was enjoyable. But again, coming back to results, and I never got there. Like, I never got the results that I wanted. And yeah, some of it was nutrition, but a big part of it was the way I was working out, to intensity.
Yeah.
As opposed to tracking muscle overload, changing my workouts up every single day with something different in the class.
That muscle confusion.
Muscle confusion.
That became a thing.
Keeping it fresh, you know.
Confuse it.
Yeah. Doing different things. And that was very counterproductive to my overall aesthetic goals. Like, I was fit, and there's a picture that I post sometimes, like a before and after.
Yeah.
And I always like want to defend my before picture. I'm like, first of all,
the CrossFit days.
Yeah, I was fit. I promise you I don't know if I could lift more. Maybe then. I don't really record 1 rep maxes and stuff anymore, so I don't know. But I promise you I could run further in faster time than I could now.
Yeah.
For sure.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so technically, is that fitter? Yeah. That when you're just looking at...
Depending on how you're doing the metrics, like how you're measuring being fit, right?
Yeah.
Physically. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I was probably arguably fitter in my before picture than my after picture.
That's just like a mind fuck for
it
people.
Is.
Like, yeah.
It totally
you need to do
is.
a post on that.
I should.
Yeah.
I should. Oh, the
green screen post. We're learning over here.
Yeah. Like, I was drinking my water.
Yeah.
I was not eating correctly. And I also was definitely not working out in a way that was ever going to get me to my goals. So that's kind of where the idea came from. Plus, I travel. We travel a lot.
Yeah.
And so I have a Planet Fitness membership because they're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
And as I went into gyms and I would see women working out and at like resort gyms and hotel gyms, I was like, no, working out is not just already done for, like, no, this is not correct. Like, you just see people walking around, they're like, do a set of presses, put that down, do toe taps on a plate for a really long time to get the heart rate back up.
Yeah.
And then move on to lunges. Like, just all over the place. And it's like,
Yeah.
I worked out. I broke a sweat.
Yeah.
I'm sore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you made no progress.
Right.
And you're going to keep, it's the hamster wheeling it.
Oh. I heard the funniest quote the other day.
What?
that comment just like if you want to describe somebody, if you want to say that somebody's being dumb without explicitly saying that,
Yeah.
you say the hamster wheel is turning, but the hamster's dead.
Yeah. That's so true though. But like, and people, they are exhausting themselves.
Yeah.
They're getting up at freaking 5 a.m.
Yeah.
to hit these hit classes.
I'm not calling you guys dumb.
No, I'm not calling you. I'm not calling.
But the
anybody
wheels
dumb.
are turning, but nothing's actually happening.
I was one of the instructors for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, that was me. That's how I started in fitness, was group fitness classes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like in hindsight, like you always get, better picture of perspective. In hindsight, in perspective, I was the dead hamster in the wheel for a long time. I was having a good time.
Plunk.
And if your goal is performance, if your goal is fitness in general, those things can work for you.
Yeah.
But if you are not happy with your overall body composition,
which is a lot of people, like I could care less about being athletic and flipping the tire wheel or whatever.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time, but it's just not going to get you to your aesthetic goals for most people. And like I said, it's very dependent on what your goals are. If your goals are to do this sport and be lean, yes, you can dial in nutrition and become leaner and continue doing what you love.
Yeah, that's a good point because if you think about like athletes, like the Hard Knocks people. Oh wait, no. What was I watching? Have you seen that quarterback documentary on Netflix?
The 3 quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes, the other guy and the other guy. Yes.
Yeah. So they really highlighted Patrick Mahomes' like workout routine, right? And so I think when I kind of was talking to Mark about this, like, you really like it, and he likes working out like an athlete because he was one, from what he's been told, he was in high school, whatever. But when you tell that to people, like, work out, like we're telling people work out according to your goals. His goal is to be the top-notch football player, so he's going to work out like that. But people will be like, well, he's a professional athlete. That's not me. I'm not a professional athlete.
Yeah.
But you can still do that. You know what I mean? So it's like putting that 2 and 2 together. Like, we're not about to get into the NFL, but the ideal, or the idea is the same.
The idea is to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
That's across the board.
Yeah.
What are your goals? Be honest about your goals and be brave enough to accept change if what you're doing isn't currently working.
Yeah.
But like I said, a big part of people's hesitation to try working out in a gym, like a bro gym setting, is you don't want to leave your people. And I mean, COVID fixed that for me because everybody had to leave their people because all the gyms closed.
Yeah.
And so I found out real quick I was not fixing to do CrossFit alone in my gym. Like, no, I'm not just going to take off running down the street like an animal and come back in here and start doing pull-ups. Like,
it was the community aspect that got you through that workout, right?
Yes, and like turns out it's very hard It was hard on my body.
Your body,
It was hard on my feelings. Like, it was just hard on me emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, kind of. But being able to bring down the intensity level of like the cardio aspect and not do such high repetitions with weight, I mean, it was much easier on me.
Yeah.
And the results I got were way different.
Wild.
And you have to think too, and this is just fair, if your goal is fat loss and you are training like CrossFit or doing HIIT classes, you're not going to feel as good as someone that is cutting calories that is just lifting in the gym because of the performance aspect. And when calories go down, performance generally follows.
Yeah, because if you're working out that intensely and in a calorie deficit, like and
it's super hard because you get so freaking hungry.
Yeah.
You know, like after you go through those high intensity hour long. I mean, the workouts are now, the classes are. A lot of times it'll be like a lifting portion and then a workout that's more like either HIIT training type, but with weights, or just like our cardio. It's like it's different every day.
Yeah.
Same thing for boot camp classes. Like less, I think heavy weights are used at those, but it's still the same thing.
Yeah. So
That's a dog snoring, not us making weird body noises. You males have a Frenchie? Okay.
I kind of want one now.
Not that one though.
Okay. I don't care. Whatever. Yeah. So let's talk about. So a lot of people's general goals are for physique, the look, the composition, the fat loss.
Because if you are just wanting to find a workout you loved, a lot of people have already done that, but it's not doing the trick.
Yeah.
So you can add in nutrition, and that will definitely help you with fat loss. But if you are not happy with the way you are currently set up,
right, your current muscle proportions and stuff like that. Like if you were to take away the fat, would you be happy? Would you want a bigger butt? Would you be happy
with your shoulders,
arms? Yeah.
your abdomen?
Yeah.
Like and it's just kind of, for me, weights is a solve all problem of aesthetics, overall health, easier on my body than HIIT workouts and interval training and things like that. So like, just like I will be able to do this. This is a life sport for me. Lifting weights that's my life sport. Like some people like to play golf or pickleball or something. I like to lift weights. And I've got my DEXA scan.
You did? Yeah.
And I'm in the 99th percentile of bone density for my age.
That's incredible.
That's important to me as I keep getting older, and I have aging parents. My I don't have any more grandparents, but I used to.
Yeah.
And can I fall down when I'm 65 and be like, oh shit, I fell down, I'm gonna have a bruise from that? Yeah. Or did I break my femur and now I'm going to surgery and rehab?
Yeah.
Right. And I talk about this a lot, but health span is so important to me.
Yeah.
It's so important to me. Lifespan, sure. But I don't care. I don't want to live years with someone having to wipe my butt and feed me liquid food. You know what I mean?
No,
I want to.
That's been my goal too. Like I've said that from the beginning, is where I just don't want to be in a wheelchair ever. I want
or laid up in bed having to be turned.
No, just I'd be like, God, come on.
Like just take me.
What are we doing here? Like
I'm a good and faithful servant.
I'm not spreading your word anymore. Please. That's so funny. And that's kind of cool, like with the DEXA scan. I should do that to see, as you continuously do that throughout the years, how your bone density stays.
It has increased over the past 2 years.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know, side note, that weightlifting increases bone density. It's great for bone strength and your bone health, and you would not think that.
Well, it's called Wolff's Law, and it just like your muscles. Your bones don't grow. Like muscles grow when they are overloaded.
Yeah.
And you lift weights and you put that demand on them. What bones do is become more dense as you overload them and make them carry weight.
Because they're like, we got to keep up with this.
Correct.
Yeah.
And bones are living. And I think people forget that. They are a living organism. And they become thicker.
You don't think about that.
Your bones are not going to grow.
Yeah, just because that's what you see in the ground with dead people.
I know, but they're alive.
They're alive.
They're doing stuff. They're doing you favors you don't even realize.
The more you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, physique goals really are the majority of people. So, and you even have clients now who have physique goals or fat loss goals, but they still do. They love the CrossFit. They love the group class at Orange Theory or something.
Yes.
So it's like, we're not necessarily saying like you're an idiot, stop doing that.
No, and like I said, if you move your body how you love to move it, but be open to falling in love with something else if it's not serving you well.
Right.
And you can do both.
Yeah.
You can go to Orange Theory once or twice a week and get your fix in, see your friends, get that community aspect, and then lift weights 3 days a week too. Instead of doing one thing that's not working for 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Let's integrate.
Yeah. So what are some other aspects to different types of, or different ways of working out for, because, fat loss or physique wise, that's probably number one. What would be next?
Like reasons why you would work out?
No, like a goal versus how you would work out for that.
I like, some people like to see their strength build. And that's another great thing with weightlifting. When you track it, right? And you stay on the same program. And that's another thing I see people doing too much. Even when they're like, yeah, I lift weights. And I'm like, well, okay, well, tell me a little bit about what you do. They're like, well, I just go into the gym and see what equipment's open, see what I feel like doing. And I'll do some legs. I'll do some abs. And then the next day I'll do arms and abs and something and abs and something and abs.
Right, that work. That rounds out.
It does. But
Yeah.
again, we go back to the principles of progressive overload and focusing on one muscle group and doing the same exercise for at least 6 weeks, tracking to make sure that you are moving more weight, that you are improving. And that doesn't just have to be with the amount of weight you are using for the exercise. Thank God, because I would never grow my shoulders because of lateral raises. I don't think I've increased in weight in like a year.
Really?
It's too hard.
I always wonder when it'll, like, I always think that, like, yeah, I could keep getting stronger, but when is it going to end?
Well, it does, right?
Yeah.
Because your muscles could,
I feel like they'd pop off.
No, your muscles have the ability to grow and to like the best of our knowledge endlessly. Like there's no cap.
Without drugs, yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that's a whole different conversation. But your tendons and ligaments, they have limits.
Yes, that's true.
So like
your muscles are like, let's go, and they're like, neep,
and they're
neep,
like,
neep.
As on another thought, how about no?
Yeah.
Your knee hurts now. But you can switch your workouts up, but you're going to keep going after the same main muscle groups and like the assisting muscle groups and different things, and having a solid program that's trackable. You don't have to just go up on weight, right? Like on a back squat, you're not just one day going to keep going to where you're back squatting like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But you can also do box squats. You can see how many you can do for 6 reps. You can see how many you do for 12. You can do a single leg squat. There's all different kinds of ways to continue overloading the muscle without, blowing out your knees.
Okay, so for people who are like, okay, that's me, I don't mind going to the gym. What do I do now? What would you recommend for like a starter pack?
A starter pack,
Yeah.
like for someone who's never gone to the gym?
I wouldn't say like that. Definitely a beginner. Like they've been,
but they've never done it real purposefully.
Yeah,
Do it.
That was me for a long time.
Yes, they just go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yes, and like get on the treadmill or the elliptical for that deal. So have like a solid plan. You can, of course, the FitFit Project has coaches, and I'll write a specific program just for you and your goals. But be smart about it and pick movements that not necessarily that you like, but that focus on the muscle group that you want to work that day. I like splits and full body workouts. Like I can go both ways on them. You can get a lot done in 3 days with full body workouts.
It's like a great place to start. 3 days is really
3 days is
manageable.
great. And then on the, and you're my client, I love to do this. Like have 3 main days where I really want you to bust it out. And then have a couple of days that are more accessory work, band work, getting blood flow to the area, just encouraging the recovery.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like that because it gives you
that's why you do that.
your heavy days to look forward to. Plus it gives you some lighter days to be like, okay, I'm still active, I'm still on track, but it's just not as intense. Maybe not get as sore that way when you have more breaks.
No. I remember a time when I first became your client and I was pretty dead set on 4 days a week. Because 5 was just, 5 was just, in the past, like I was getting 4 in easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And you're like, okay, well, I'm going to make you work for it. I'm like, please, I don't care. Like, I'll bust my ass for 2 hours, then work out for 5 days a week. And now I work out 5 days a week.
It's just
I remembered
changing.
that the other day. I was like, wait a second. Look what she did.
But, you start getting in there, and it's just like, it really does become like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you know why. And you know what you're freaking doing.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of the wanting to skip the gym out of it. You have a specific workout you do on a specific day. You know what you did last week. And you want to go see how things are playing out. Having a plan and knowing how and why you're heading towards your goal is very motivating to get to the gym. Like, I have a plan. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. And this is what we hope to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of, like, there's still a lot of fear nowadays with women with, I want to go to the gym and lift weights, but I just don't want to look like a man.
Oh.
We still hear that.
I do, and I'm like, I wish I was having to pull back because I was becoming too muscular.
So let's like dial into that a little bit, because I want people to hear like what it takes to actually for a woman to look like a man, like what it takes.
Illegal substances.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's. I'm sure there's an outlier. I'm sure that your best friends, cousins, aunts,
What?
high school roommate or college roommate, like somebody that there's always something where somebody's like, no, there was this lady.
Yeah.
That she started lifting weights, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
There may be an outlier out there. It's not you. It's not. It's not you. You're gonna lift weights. And you're going to be sore, and you're going to look in the mirror for your giant butt, and it's not going to be there yet. You're going to have to work really, really hard for really, really long. And here's your insurance. If I'm still not able to just completely eliminate that irrational fear, we'll see it coming. You're not gonna go do some dumbbell presses and come in with like 36-inch biceps,
Right?
Like we'll see it coming so far away.
Yeah, and then we'll just stop. Like,
But there
that's so
is,
funny.
I do think too, that women will start like lifting weights or doing like heavier lifting with whatever, and they won't lose fat, and they will feel bulkier. You know how when you get like sore, that area feels inflamed?
Yeah.
I think that's part of it too.
Okay.
Like when your quads are sore, they feel bigger. They may be a little bigger just because like
The blood flow.
it's not injury to the muscle, but it is in a way. Like it's not what people think where it's like you tear the muscle down and then it builds back up. But the muscle does build back up bigger as you put more demand on it. But so slowly, and there's a cap. I think that's what people don't understand.
Okay.
There's a cap on how much muscle you're going to be able to build. And it's not manly.
No. And like, okay, we're a good example. You lift just as heavy as I do, but our bodies look wildly different. Even if I was at the same body fat percentage as you, like it would still be so different. Like my DNA just naturally has more muscle. Even if you saw pictures of me in high school, like obviously I'd be smaller because I never lifted weights, but you could just tell that my body just has muscle. That's just the way it's built. And I get that from my mom and a lot of both sides really.
Yeah.
But, and then building muscle is really easy. So there are, but it's just, I think about that all the time where it's just like and I'll see videos on TikTok of these girls doing these weights that just don't look like anything. And I'm like, I don't even know if I look like I could do a pull-up. I can't do a pull-up.
You probably could.
Maybe now I have been working on them because that is one thing that is in my little program right now. But I mean, you would assume. So I think.
Yeah, you would probably assume I couldn't. And I can.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just like bodies are so deceiving.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to look at yourself for people who have this fear or whatever, just like look at yourself in the mirror in a non-judgmental way and just like look like, okay, I'm actually a petite person.
Yeah.
Regardless of body fat or, you know, your muscle, just like your frame, right?
And when you do that, develop your goals and expectations around that honest assessment.
I did that a long time ago because my mom, I think I've talked about this, you know, she grew up in the 60s and 60s, 70s, and 80s where skinny was that was the way to be.
Twiggy era.
Twig era, skinny.
No, Twiggy. Do you know Twiggy the model?
No.
I'll Google her for you. You're so young. She didn't know who Hank Williams Jr. was. What's wrong with you? Anyway,
Sorry.
Twiggy is
It
one.
sounds familiar.
Kate Moss.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay, Okay, we're back. Go ahead.
I'm back. I know who that is.
Oh.
But so for the longest time, I could hear my mom would always, she'd complain about her arms because she wanted to be the tall ballerina arms. And her mother was that physique. Very tall, very thin, very, you know, elegantly tall, right?
Yeah, so I'm showing Caitlin a picture of Twiggy. This was the ideal physique in the, 60s probably.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. Skin and bones, baby.
You're a, what's that?
Thin
that
as
little
in.
bug we saw in your gym earlier.
Oh, the walking stick.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah. Well, it's probably like me calling something a roly-poly. That's what we always called them. Walking sticks.
Oh, crap. I can't remember the actual name of it, but you know what I mean.
Somebody.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. It's welcome back for us. We had some technical difficulties, so we had to calm down, wait one whole day.
Change clothes.
Yeah.
Take off all of our cute makeup we had on for this.
I know, we looked so cute. But yeah, we had some technical difficulties, so we're just kind of picking up where we left off. But we were talking about... we're more of reminding ourselves because everyone's listening to this all together.
Yeah, we know.
But yeah, we were talking about how to work out based on your goals, and I was going into the story about my mom because you had said that, work out for the body that you have.
Yeah.
Right. So I was telling the story about my family were really just muscular people, that good old Midwestern grit, right? And Rosie is a chicken. And
for
so
the body that you have, even if it's rotisserie chicken.
Yeah. That's so cute. So yeah, she was doing CrossFit before her wedding, and she was looking really good.
I think you need to tell this story too because people are like, she had you? CrossFit was around? No, your mom got married again.
Oh, yeah. My mom got married again. And I was
CrossFit's newish.
25. When this was all going down. And so she was looking really good, but it was disappointed with how muscular she was getting.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, because she grew up, in the 70s and 80s when it was just stick thin, it was beautiful. And so she was trying on wedding dresses with my two sister-in-laws. I wasn't there, and they were like, Sally, try on this dress. It would look so good on you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, my arms, or it wouldn't be flattering, which I get. I'm not going to try on something I know won't be flattering to my figure. I don't know what the dress looked like, but to appease them, because she's a people pleaser, she tried it on anyway, and she walked out to show them, and they looked at her and go, oh, I see what you mean.
Oh, no.
She called me crying, my poor mom. She's like, I've always wanted those, long, skinny arms. And, it's just that horrible reminder, the worst thing that could have happened to my mom, to be reminded of the body she's always wanted and doesn't have, And I was like, Mommy, I love you so much, but that's never going to happen. Stop dreaming about it.
Yeah.
I said it in a way that was funny, and so she started laughing, and it cut the tension a little bit of her sadness.
Well, and it helps too to kind of commiserate things like that and to say them to someone that gets it.
Yeah.
You are like, yeah, look at us.
Yeah.
This is crazy talk. But when you're telling that to someone who has really long skinny arms.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel the same.
Yeah. So that was that's what sparked me, because it was just common sense to me. Like you said, that's just not what the body we have. So that's when it started to kind of click a little bit more for me, where I was like,
I should really, I am a muscular person naturally. Let's lean into that. I probably could be really good at lifting weights. That sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And then that started to snowball into that, getting more into the weightlifting scene. So, yeah, that's where I was going with that story.
Well, and for me, that's really relatable with working out, because when I started getting more interested in like the bodybuilding, but like the bikini division, and looking at these like physiques, they're muscular, like very muscular.
Yeah.
And of course, this is like my perception of just like completely outside at this point looking in, and I was like, but it's very feminine.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love that, because at this point I was already like in my 40s, like would probably be like, oh, it's too late for you, but that's just not how my brain works.
Yeah.
I forget that I'm too old for stuff. And so I was like getting into it and learned from Casey, like, yes, I get it that this person's the same height as you. So should you be trying to look like that? And the answer, even in a division that is judged on a criteria of a look, the answer is still no to that.
Okay.
The answer is still, based on the criteria for the division, build your physique.
Not somebody else's.
Not somebody else's in a way that fits that criteria. And that was kind of mind-opening to me, because my perception was like, I think I could actually do this, because it's not like obviously like the bodybuilder, what you think of as a bodybuilder. It's bikini division. It's like the entry level, which is still it's a lot of muscle.
Yeah, we I lost my train of thought. Oh no. So when I started to kind of realize that, what was encouraging to me was to find athletes on social media that I could tell were just brick houses, and you know, we're lean, and I thought, I was like, that looks a lot like my physique.
Like,
that's encouraging.
That is encouraging.
I can't look like you. I can't look like Casey. I'm not tall. I don't have like the sticky legs. That's mean, but
we do a lot of work. Okay,
you do a lot of work, and surprisingly, I do a lot of work for my butt. People are like, "Oh, you have such a Rosie." I was like, people are like, you have such a great butt, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we'd be surprised how like much I've done to get it like this. It was small. I was small tush.
I'm going to find a picture of my butt.
Yeah.
Before I started working on my butt.
I'm gonna
not
do
just
that
working
too.
out.
I'm going to do that too.
It's funny. I mean, not funny, but like.
Just like, aw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but also proud, because, you know, you may hear this too. I do. Like, oh, must be nice.
Oh.
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
No, bruh. Like the work that I put in every single day consistent, and that's what people miss. Mm-hmm. It is so much more about tempo than aggression.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. And I have my friends who love to touch my butt and give it a good old slap. And there's one.
Are you talking about me?
You're one of them, but some of my friends back in Nashville, there's one in particular where I'm just like, girl, because she doesn't lift weights, she works out a lot, but she has a great behind, just not naturally, right? And I told her, I was like, girl, if you worked out the way I did, you'd blow me out of the water. And she's like, oh, and she's like all modest, and I was like, dude, I'm having a hard time not saying her name, but like, if she listens, she probably knows who she is. But I'm just like, you have no idea. You like,
I have my whole foot up. I need to move it.
I was just like, dude, talk about a shelf. If you just squatted a few times a week,
drinks off your butt.
Yeah. But oh my god. But yeah, that's what we mean by working out based on just like your physique and just being honest with yourself. Like, yeah, you know, like everybody, you know, has like, they can look at something that they don't have. Like, right? Somebody might be like, oh, I wish I could have your butt. I'm like, well, I wish I could have your eyeballs or something. You know what I mean?
But it's always, it's chasing something that will never be yours.
Yeah.
Which,
and just being okay.
I honestly think sometimes in a way that keeps people safe, because they're chasing ether. They're chasing something that's never going to belong to them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start looking at yourself and what you can do to improve the way that God made you, you're really going to come into some power there.
Yes.
But then you have the responsibility of what to do with that.
Yeah.
And it'll change your entire life.
Yeah.
And your outlook on stuff. And that is a little bit can be intimidating in the feeling of true self-improvement when you start. And this is like when you think about a pyramid, no matter what you want to improve in your life, start with your physical self and improving that.
Yeah.
And that is the base that you can build more emotional security, relationship security, awareness, health, mental clarity, mental health. But the basis starts with your physical self. And remember that the way that you do one thing is the way you do every single thing in your life. So when you really start prioritizing your body, your health, you can build from there, but you can't do too much when you try to start with, like, I really want to get fit, but first I got to fix the relationship with my husband before I can prioritize myself.
Okay, yeah.
And that happens a lot. Like, I really want to get fit, but I'm broke. I got to get some more money.
Before I can do the gym membership or something. Yeah.
And you're trying to play Jenga and take out the bottom pieces first, and it's just all going to keep falling down over and over.
That's such a good example.
It is.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it is, you know, you can, no matter where you're at in your life, financial or not, yeah, you could always start. And it's never too late. People are like, well, I'm 45. Why?
I'm not 45. I'm 44.
Well, okay, you know what I mean? As an example, I'm in my 40s and, you know, or I look like a rotisserie chicken. It's like, no.
But I love it. We love our dog. Sorry.
That's what this episode's really about. But yeah, I think that as we were kind of circling back around, just prioritizing like yourself and understanding where you're at and kind of being honest with yourself. That's like a big thing.
It's a big, and again, the whole episode is about work out for your goals and be okay with pulling back from what you've always known to get something you never have.
Yeah.
And this helped me too, because when I stopped going to my group classes, a big part was these people, like, I love them. I'm going to lose my relationship with them. Like, we would hang out together some. I mean, as much as I'll hang out with people, right?
Yeah.
But, like...
That's the only time they got you was
well,
those
and I
classes.
would go, when I could do it, muster it up, like, go to the social stuff that they had, like, to a dinner with the girls or a Christmas party at the gym with everybody, and, like, just feeling like I'm going to lose some important relationships in my life. This is how I became consistent with fitness. I'm scared that I'll, quit altogether. And reminding yourself that trying something is not, you're not signing Ursula's contract and giving away your voice to get you a pair of legs.
Yeah.
You're trying something on.
Yeah.
So remember that. Go all in on the new thing. Live that for a certain amount of time and see if it's as devastating as you think it's going to be. Because, I mean, I still am friends with a lot of these people. I still talk to them. I still see them sometimes. And I am also doing what works best for me now.
Yeah, that's important. And that's, I could see how a lot of people would have that dilemma. It's like, well, this got you into positive places. It got you to good things, but then you just evolved a little bit further.
It just wasn't working best for me anymore. And it took a pandemic to pull me out. Yeah. So
where do you think you'd be if it weren't for the pandemic?
I don't know. Probably still doing CrossFit. I don't know.
Do you think we'd know each other? That's
I don't
horrible.
Know. That's weird.
I don't want to think about that.
Okay, we don't have to.
Well, I think that is a great closing argument, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just, again, think about it as a new style.
New style.
You're scared of it. It's
new pair
outside
of
your
jeans.
norm.
Yeah.
Wear it around for a few weeks and see how you feel.
Yeah. And give us a call if you have questions.
Yeah.
Because we are doing those coaching questions, so y'all put those in, email us, DM us.
Those are our favorite episodes.
Those are so much fun. I really like that. We just dove right in. I actually just published that for today's episode.
You?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you off camera, but this week has been wildly unproductive, so.
But it's been fun.
It's been fun. Anyway, until next time, guys, we will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.